Hey guys, Emma here, also known as 8vinyllow, bringing you all another video. Today's video is going to be a kind of a double whammy video. It's going to be a VCLT unboxing video as well as a contest entry. And they all do relate to each other in the sense of the VCLT and the contest entry relate to Jeff Kempin's channel. If you aren't familiar with Jeff, I'm going to link his channel link down in the description below. Definitely familiarize yourself if you aren't familiar with him. First and foremost, an incredible guy, an incredible individual, definitely someone who I value as one of my friends here in the VC. As well as someone who just makes really good content and really fun videos. And actually, once we get to the contest portion of this video, and I explain to you kind of what the contest is for and what it's about, you'll kind of see why his videos are unique and why I enjoy them. So, first and foremost, we're going to do the VCLT unboxing. So Jeff had sent me a message probably about a week or so ago, saying that he had an extra copy of Grand Funk Railroad's live album, because in about a video or two back, I was talking about how I was starting to really get into Grand Funk Railroad. It kind of started with the VCLT package that I received from Bill over at the Vinylverse. He sent me their Closer to Home record. And then when I was at a record store, I picked up their Shining On album. So I've been getting really into them, and I know that their live album is just a classic record, one that you need in any record collection, and then two, if you're getting into Grand Funk Railroad, you need that as well. So I got this box here in the mail a couple of days ago. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that's what it is, but I still want to do the unboxing for it. I love showing the generosity of the VC always. So we're going to open this and then I will get to the contest. So pre-scored the box as always. At the top here, we have a note, and then we have Grand Funk's live album. So like I said, super excited about this. This is an album that I see often in record stores but never pick up. So thank you again, Jeff, for thinking about me and sending me the extra copy that you had. I'm so excited to listen to this. So I'm also aiming to, well, actually, I'm going to save that for question number 3 in the contest. I'm going to stop there. That's actually a good thing that I didn't think of until right now. So yes, so Grand Funk's live album, super excited to spin this. We have a note from Jeff as well that says, "Hi Emma, here's the copy of Grand Funk's live album that I told you about. I cleaned the records for you, but I did not play test them. They look to be in pretty good shape, so I hope they play well for you. Enjoy, take care, and keep them spinning, Jeff." So again, Jeff, thank you so much for thinking about me with this extra copy. It means a lot as always, and I absolutely cannot wait to spin this album. So, all right, moving on to number 2 of this video. So as I was kind of alluding to at the beginning of this video, so Jeff is also holding a contest. It's his 70/700 contest that he's doing. Basically what it is he's celebrating 1, reaching 700 subscribers on YouTube, which is incredible, and 2, he's celebrating his 70th Spin Zone episode. So as I was saying, if you're not familiar with Jeff, go check him out, and definitely go check out his Spin Zone episodes. I think it makes him extremely unique, just this concept, and I love it, and I hope to do something like this concept soon, because I've been kind of brainstorming ideas. But basically what he does is he'll listen to whatever albums he has in his listening pile, and then what he'll do is come on and kind of review them. And the reviews are awesome, and the feedback's always extremely interesting. So I love the Spin Zone. I love when it's back, so definitely check it out if you're not familiar with it. So, but he reached 70 Spin Zone videos, which is incredible. It's, putting these videos up all the time. I don't know where I'm at right now, maybe 30 videos in total, maybe less, I'm not even sure. So to have 70 separate Spin Zone related videos is incredible. So I applaud Jeff for that. And like I said, I always enjoy watching them. So he's doing the 70 spin zones and then the 700 subscribers. And he's keeping it simple, and that's what he said in his video. Basically, he has 3 questions and he's just trying to keep it easy for people to kind of join in on this contest. Number 1, which album did you anticipate its release and were disappointed by? I knew exactly what I wanted to talk about when Jeff shared this question, and that's because it's not the first time that someone has asked me this question, and it's always the same answer because I'm still scarred by it. Okay, I don't know if I've shared on here before, but especially, I still am now, don't get me wrong, but especially when I was in high school, I was really into the band the Arctic Monkeys. And I saw them live, and this was during the time that they released their record AM, which absolutely launched their career in terms of putting them on the international scale. Huge album for them, probably their biggest album. I don't know if it's necessarily their best. Some people will say it is. Music is subjective, right? We all have our different opinions. I don't know if it's even my favorite, but it's definitely, I can 100% say it launched them. They were big before that, but they just blew up when AM was released. Everybody is familiar, at least with the cover of that record, the AM in the white and then the black background. So, huge fan of the Arctic Monkeys. AM launched their career. I got really into just their earlier music, especially Favorite Worst Nightmare. That might be my favorite album of theirs. I saw them live. I followed them. I loved them. And then, as every band does, right, they go on hiatus to either go do a record or they're just on a hiatus and they're taking a break. And finally, in 2018, they were set to release this new album called, and I had to write it down, and this is showing how not memorable it is to me. Again, if you like this album, perfectly fine, right? Everybody has their own taste. It just doesn't do it for me. Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino. 2018, I believe, was the release. And I was so excited that AM was finally coming back, that they'll probably tour again and whatnot. And they released this album, and I just felt so... I felt like defeated, in a sense, that I was just holding on and waiting for it to end. And, you know, I didn't stop being a fan during that hiatus, but you kind of drift off from that fan base a little bit. And then you start getting back on when they're hyping up this new album, and then the album drops, and you just want to love it so much, and I just didn't. It didn't do it for me. So that was kind of disappointing. I was really excited for it, but it just didn't have it for me. So that's my number 1. Number 2, tell us something never revealed in a video. So this one had me thinking a little bit because I feel like even if it's just a small, snippet of my life, I feel like I've shared everything that first came to my mind when this question was asked. Meaning, okay, so what do you do for a living? Things like that. Well, I've shared before that I was studying to be a history teacher. I graduated in December, and right now I'm basically subbing until I can find a full-time position, which I'm assuming that full-time position will come in August, considering that we're in the middle of a school year. So I'm subbing right now. So that's what I'm doing, and I've shared that before. What do I collect that's not records? Well, basically music memorabilia, and I've talked about that before, that I also collect guitar picks. So, shared that. And just, a few other things that I thought that I could do, use for this question, but I realized that I have shared it at one point or another in one of my videos. So, basically what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to tell a story that I think is kind of interesting. You may not, that's okay. But I'm going to tell a story because I tell people this story when I know them, and it's fun. I don't know, I think it's interesting. It's just something about me. So basically, when I was a baby, my left leg I was born with my left leg wrapped around my head, like completely wrapped around my head. It must have been so uncomfortable. I'm so thankful that I don't remember. But it was wrapped around my head. That's how I was born. So left leg wrapped around my head. And I mean, it was interesting. It was, the doctors had never seen anything like that before. And then obviously my family, they've never seen that before, but the doctors had never seen anything like that before. And so, yeah, it was just bizarre. And so every time that someone would try and push the leg down, so you try to push the leg down, it would spring back up. And so it was quite amusing, and my family tells me stories all the time, and they're still amused by it, I feel like, because it just brings back memories. But it got to a point where the doctors didn't really know what was going on. They'd never seen it before, that they were contemplating how to fix it. And they were going back and forth with all these different ideas, and this is what I was told, and this and that, and even contemplating, you know, will she ever be able to use this leg? Will it ever be, you know, will it function? Do we need to remove it? What's the situation? So all these doctors are going back and forth. They've never seen anything like it. They're thinking of all these different things that they can do to the leg to try and fix it. And there was one doctor that said, just put a cast on it. And so this leg for months is wrapped around my head, finally casted, and eventually just starts slowing going down with the casting. So finally, my leg goes down. Today, it's fine. It functions just fine. It functions just like a normal leg. It's like nothing ever happened. Sometimes, you know, if I'm like if I want to stretch my hamstring and I pull it all the way up, sometimes my knee bothers me, which is related to how I was born, but it's fine. So I don't know. It's an interesting story that I always like to tell, because I always start out with, I was born with a leg over my head. So, I mean, you can't beat that conversation starter, because everybody wants to know more. So that's my story. I know I haven't shared that before. I probably wouldn't have shared that, but Jeff's just opening it up. So that's what I'm going with. And number 3, where do you see your collection going in 2020? I just see my collection growing. I see myself adding albums that I've wanted for a while. I see myself adding new music to my collection that I might not be familiar with, that I want to be familiar with. I want to add more jazz into my collection, just because there are so many people in the VC that love jazz and just talk it up, and it just makes it sound so good. So I want to add more jazz. I definitely want to keep building my British blues collection. I want to add a new Cheap Trick album to my collection. They're supposed to release one this year, so yes. And I also want to add, this is what I was waiting for in the beginning, I want to add more Grand Funk Railroad into my collection this year, because I'm getting into them. So yeah, so that's where I see it going. I just want it to keep growing. I want to keep learning more about music. I want to listen to new music. I want to just immerse myself in new things and try new things and keep building and doing what I enjoy. And yeah, so yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Again, Jeff, thank you so much for your generosity as always, for also just being a really cool friend in the VC to me, and for holding this fun contest. You all wouldn't have known about me being born with a leg over my head if it wasn't for Jeff, so make sure to go to his channel and thank him, and also give him a sub if you haven't. So that's all I have for this video. I will see you all for my next. Bye, guys.